She seduced generals, stole military secrets, and changed the outcome of wars. But history forgot her name. These are the most successful female spies in history, the women who outsmarted empires and shaped the modern world. Throughout history, intelligence agencies underestimated women. Male officials believed women were unsuited for espionage, too emotional for danger, incapable of strategic thinking. This underestimation became women's greatest advantage. While guards watched men carefully, women moved freely. While officials suspected male strangers, they trusted charming women. While security focused on obvious threats, female spies gathered secrets hiding in plain sight. From ancient empires to World War II, from the Cold War to modern intelligence services, women have conducted some of history's most successful espionage operations. They've stolen military plans, turned enemy agents, sabotaged weapons programs, and saved countless lives. Many worked in complete obscurity, their achievements classified for decades. Others became legends, though often misunderstood or sensationalized by history. Today, we're examining the real stories of history's most successful female spies, who they were, what they accomplished, how they operated, and why their contributions deserve recognition. These aren't stories of seduction and glamour, though those stereotypes persist. These are stories of courage, intelligence, strategic thinking, and extraordinary service under impossible conditions. From code breakers who shortened wars to resistance fighters who saved thousands, from double agents who deceived empires to intelligence analysts who prevented catastrophes, these women changed history. The Gestapo called her the most dangerous of all Allied spies. Her name was Virginia Hall, and she became a legend of World War II espionage. Virginia Hall grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, studying languages and dreaming of diplomatic service. She spoke French, German, Italian, and Russian fluently. In 1931, a hunting accident in Turkey resulted in her left leg being amputated below the knee. She wore a wooden prosthetic leg she named Cuthbert. The U.S. State Department rejected her application for diplomatic service because of her disability. This rejection would inadvertently push her toward a career that made her one of the most effective spies of World War II. When World War II began, Hall joined Britain's Special Operations Executive, or SOE, an intelligence agency conducting espionage and sabotage in occupied Europe. In 1941, she deployed to Vichy, France, operating undercover as a journalist for the New York Post. Her mission? Organize resistance networks, coordinate supply drops, and gather intelligence on German operations. Hall's work was extraordinarily dangerous. She organized resistance cells across Lyon, coordinated weapons deliveries to underground fighters, arranged safe houses for Allied pilots shot down over France, and gathered intelligence on German military movements. She recruited and trained dozens of resistance members, established radio communication networks, and coordinated sabotage operations against Nazi infrastructure. The Gestapo knew someone was organizing resistance in Lyon, but couldn't identify who. Hall operated for over a year before German counterintelligence discovered a female American coordinating resistance activities. In November 1942, when Germany occupied all of France, the Gestapo intensified efforts to capture Hall. She had to escape immediately. Despite her prosthetic leg, Hall hiked over the Pyrenees Mountains into Spain in winter, a grueling journey of over 50 miles through snow and rough terrain that would challenge any person, let alone someone with a disability. She radioed London. "Cuthbert is being tiresome, but I can cope." Her handlers, not knowing Cuthbert was her prosthetic leg, replied with concern, not understanding the message. Hall didn't retire after escaping. She joined the American Office of Strategic Services, or OSS, the predecessor to the CIA, and returned to France in 1944. This time, she disguised herself as an elderly peasant woman, using makeup to appear decades older. She organized resistance activities in central France, coordinated intelligence gathering for the D-Day invasion, and trained guerrilla fighters who sabotaged German communications. Her intelligence reports helped Allied forces advance through France after D-Day, saving countless lives and accelerating liberation. After the war, Virginia Hall received the Distinguished Service Cross, the only civilian woman to receive this honor during World War II. She later joined the CIA, working in intelligence analysis until retirement. Hall's success came from extraordinary courage, meticulous planning, and using others' underestimation of a disabled woman as operational advantage. She proved that determination and intelligence matter far more than physical capability. She was an Indian princess, a children's book author, and a musician. She was also one of Britain's most valuable radio operators in occupied France. Noor Inayat Khan seemed an unlikely candidate for espionage. Born to an Indian Sufi musician father and an American mother, she grew up in Paris studying music and writing children's stories. She was gentle, spiritual, and pacifist by nature. But when Nazi Germany occupied France, Khan joined Britain's Women's Auxiliary Air Force and volunteered for Special Operations Executive. Her superiors doubted her suitability for espionage, noting in reports that she was not overburdened with brains and seemed too gentle for dangerous work. They were spectacularly wrong. In June 1943, Khan parachuted into occupied France as a radio operator, one of the most dangerous roles in espionage. Radio operators transmitted intelligence to London but faced constant danger from German detection equipment. The average life expectancy for SOE radio operators in occupied France was just 6 weeks. Khan would survive for months. Operating under the codename Madeleine, she became the last remaining radio link between London and Paris resistance networks after most other operators were captured. Despite constant danger, Khan transmitted crucial intelligence about German defenses, troop movements, and occupation activities. She moved locations frequently, staying one step ahead of German detection teams. London offered to extract her multiple times, recognizing the extreme danger. Khan refused, knowing that without her radio transmissions, resistance networks would lose contact with Allied command. She continued operating for 4 months, far exceeding the expected survival time, maintaining the vital communication link that coordinated resistance activities and intelligence gathering. In October 1943, Khan was betrayed and captured by the Gestapo. Even under interrogation, she refused to provide any information about her networks or operations. She attempted escape twice, showing extraordinary courage despite impossible circumstances. German intelligence marked her file as highly dangerous and eventually transferred her to Dachau concentration camp. In September 1944, just months before Allied liberation, Khan was executed at Dachau. Her last word was reportedly, "Liberté," freedom. After the war, Khan received the George Cross, Britain's highest civilian honor for gallantry, and the Croix de Guerre from France. A memorial statue now stands in London honoring her service. Noor Inayat Khan proved that gentle nature and fierce courage can coexist, that seemingly unlikely candidates can demonstrate extraordinary bravery, and that physical strength matters far less than moral conviction. While male colleagues received recognition, Elizabeth Smith Friedman quietly became America's greatest codebreaker, pioneering techniques that shaped modern intelligence. Elizabeth Smith began working in cryptography in 1916, learning codebreaking from William Friedman, whom she later married. Together, they became pioneers in American cryptography. During World War I, Elizabeth worked for the U.S. government breaking encrypted messages, but her most significant work came in the decades that followed. During Prohibition in the 1920s and 1930s, Elizabeth Friedman worked for the Treasury Department and Coast Guard, breaking codes used by smuggling rings. She deciphered over 12,000 encrypted messages from criminal organizations, leading to the capture of major smuggling operations. Her testimony helped convict numerous organized crime figures. Friedman developed systematic approaches to code breaking that became foundations for modern cryptanalysis. She could break codes that others considered unbreakable, using mathematical analysis and pattern recognition. During World War II, Friedman worked for the Coast Guard and Navy, breaking Axis codes and identifying Nazi spy networks operating in South America. Her work uncovered German intelligence operations attempting to establish networks in Latin America, preventing potential sabotage operations and intelligence gathering that could have aided Axis powers. She broke codes used by Nazi agents, identified communication networks, and provided intelligence that helped neutralize German espionage in the Western Hemisphere. Despite her extraordinary contributions, Friedman received little public recognition. Much of her work was classified. Male colleagues often received credit for breakthroughs she made. Her husband, William Friedman, became famous as the father of American cryptology, while Elizabeth's equally important contributions remained largely unknown. This pattern was common for female intelligence officers. Do the work, watch men receive the recognition. Friedman pioneered cryptanalytic techniques that remain relevant today. She developed systematic approaches to frequency analysis, pattern recognition in encrypted messages, and methodologies for breaking complex codes. Her work laid groundwork for modern signals intelligence and code breaking that intelligence agencies still use. Only decades after her death in 1980 did historians and intelligence agencies begin properly recognizing Friedman's contributions. Declassified documents revealed the scope of her work and its impact on American security. Today, she's recognized as one of history's greatest cryptographers, whose work helped win World War II and established foundations for modern intelligence analysis. Not all successful female spies served noble causes. Understanding espionage requires examining all sides, including those who betrayed their countries. Female spies have worked for democracies and dictatorships, for liberation and oppression, for causes noble and corrupt. Understanding their full history requires examining this complexity. While famous spies conducted operations in the field, countless women revolutionized intelligence analysis from headquarters. During World War II, thousands of women worked as analysts, translators, and researchers. They pieced together fragmentary information to create comprehensive intelligence pictures. The famous Bletchley Park code-breaking operation employed over 8,000 women who operated machines, analyzed patterns, and broke codes that shortened the war by an estimated 2 years. During the Cold War, female intelligence officers served in all major agencies: CIA, MI6, KGB, Mossad, and others. They recruited sources, analyzed intelligence, and conducted operations worldwide. Many served in analytical roles, becoming experts on Soviet military capabilities, political structures, and strategic intentions. Their analysis informed decades of Western policy. Today, women serve at all levels of intelligence agencies worldwide. They lead operations, direct analysis, and hold senior positions including agency leadership. Modern intelligence recognizes that diverse perspectives improve analysis, that underestimating female officers creates vulnerabilities, and that talent matters regardless of gender. Despite progress, challenges remain. Female intelligence officers still face barriers, stereotypes, and unequal recognition. But their contributions continue shaping global security. From cyber intelligence to counterterrorism, from diplomatic intelligence to technical analysis, women are integral to modern intelligence operations. What can we learn from history's most successful female spies? Their stories teach us lessons that extend far beyond intelligence work. Female spies succeeded partly because others underestimated them. They used society's prejudices as operational cover. This teaches a broader lesson. Perceived disadvantages can become advantages when used strategically. What others see as weakness can be strength in the right context. Female spies proved that intelligence work depends on mental capability, strategic thinking, and interpersonal skills more than physical strength or intimidation. Virginia Hall's success despite physical disability demonstrated that determination and intelligence matter more than physical capability. Many successful female spies operated effectively because they appeared ordinary, unremarkable, easily overlooked. This invisibility allowed them to gather information and conduct operations while guards focused on more obvious threats. These women showed that courage isn't just battlefield heroics. It's maintaining radio transmissions, knowing capture means death. It's breaking codes while receiving no recognition. It's continuing missions despite overwhelming danger. Female intelligence officers have historically received less recognition than male counterparts for equivalent or superior contributions. This gap reflects broader patterns where women's work, especially work done quietly or in support roles, receives less acknowledgement regardless of its importance. Many successful female spies demonstrated extraordinary patience, maintaining cover for years, building trust slowly, waiting for the right moment to gather crucial intelligence. This patience often proved more valuable than dramatic action, teaching that success sometimes requires long-term commitment rather than immediate results. Female spies often succeeded by innovating new methods. adapting to circumstances, and finding creative solutions to seemingly impossible problems. Their outsider status sometimes freed them from conventional thinking, allowing innovation that insiders might not consider. These stories remind us that intelligence work, despite its technical sophistication, ultimately depends on human judgment, courage, and dedication. No amount of technology replaces the human intelligence officer willing to take risks, make difficult decisions, and persist despite danger. The most successful female spies in history changed the world while history largely ignored them. Virginia Hall organized resistance that helped liberate France. Noor Inayat Khan maintained crucial communications despite mortal danger. Elizabeth Friedman pioneered cryptography that shaped modern intelligence. Thousands of unnamed women analyzed intelligence, broke codes, and conducted operations that prevented wars and saved lives. Their success came not despite being women, but sometimes because of it. In eras when societies underestimated female capability, these women used that underestimation as operational advantage. They proved that intelligence work rewards mental acuity, strategic thinking, courage, and dedication more than any physical characteristic or gender. But their stories also reveal uncomfortable truths about recognition and credit. Many did extraordinary work while men received accolades. Many saved thousands of lives while remaining anonymous. Many changed history while being written out of it. Today, as their stories emerge from classified archives and historical obscurity, we can finally give them the recognition they deserved all along. These women weren't exceptions to the rule that intelligence required male officers. They proved the rule was wrong from the beginning. Modern intelligence services increasingly recognize this, opening opportunities for women at all levels and learning lessons from history's successful female spies. But the greatest lesson may be the simplest. Talent exists in all people, regardless of gender. Organizations that recognize and utilize all talent, rather than limiting themselves through prejudice, gain competitive advantage. The most successful female spies in history didn't just serve their nations. They proved that intelligence, courage, and strategic thinking matter more than the superficial characteristics that societies use to judge capability. Their legacy isn't just the operations they conducted or the intelligence they gathered. It's the proof that underestimating anyone based on gender or appearance is not just morally wrong, it's strategically foolish. Which female spy's story inspired you most? Comment below. Subscribe for more intelligence history.